I have a ghost in my house. She's been there since the day I bought it. Actually, she's been there since before I bought it. She was murdered in one of the rooms in my house. And we were telling stories, so I kind of came up with this about her. Her room, my house. Having lived in my home alone now for some years, the history of our home now came under a cloud. I lived here, I said, with the usual woes and fears, and for the most part, I was pretty proud. They found out there was a murder committed in this place, and they wanted to know who, what, where, and why. So I told them there were times when I saw this woman's face. The look on my brow told them I didn't lie. In winter, she passes me at times on the stairs, but always when I am alone and at night. I could tell they were shocked by their astonished glares. It's okay, I told them, she never gives me a fright. There are times when I lay asleep in my bed, and I forget to close the room where she died. She will pass me in the landing, sometimes nodding her head. But there were times when she was angry, and she would not be denied. I'd be lying in bed, letting off the odd snore, when the bedroom door would suddenly become cold. You see, I would have forgotten to close her door. The duvet ended up on the landing, and that's me told. So I'd get up, and I'd lock the door to that room, picking up my duvet and head back to my bed. And when I wake in the morning, a feeling of gloom. That light would be on, and the door would be open instead. For the most part, I'd say, we get along, her and I. And if she's angry and I want to keep my duvet off the floor, nothing more for it but to remember I'll try to close and shut her bedroom door. To this day, it's her room, for it's where she died, and no woman has ever set an eye on her ghost. And any man who's slept in it knows I haven't lied. It may be her room, but it's my house, and I'm a fair host. And the man who killed her, lest I somehow forget, if you gaze out her window, you'll see where he met his tragic death. And I was speaking to my sister about 1960s and 70s, and it was all hand-me-down clothes, and I got this out of it. I don't even know what it looks like, but anyway, there we go. Hand-me-downs. Growing up in the 60s really wasn't so bad. Times were tough, but we shared all that we had. The wireless radio played Beatles songs most days. They were dark times, no jobs, no pay. I had 10 sisters, 6 older, 4 younger. 1 younger brother, 1 older and stronger. Clothing was an issue. It was all hand-me-downs. Nothing was wasted amid all of our problems. For years I was happy in my hand-me-down clothes. No shame in recycling, as everyone knows. The shoes had holes in them under our feet, yet we smiled at each other whenever we'd meet. The mother would issue us all with some chores, and we'd be out that door in 3s and 4s. All chores would be left undone, none of us trying, through the arch of the house of Mrs. O'Brien. Did you see that my mother would shout from our yard? I saw no one to reply, with my eyes 'tis a bit hard. We'd be gone for the day, our freedom achieved, but coming home none of us felt relieved. Our chores still undone with a clip upside the head, were always done before we were washed and sent to bed. My pyjamas, too small, they pinched and they chafed. With 4 sisters after me, they would not go to waste. A nightgown the mother presented to me from one of the sisters who giggled with glee. I'm not wearing that, I said, it's her slip, and with my ear it went red, her hand like a whip. My introduction there and then to ladies' attire. Back in the 60s, there wasn't much more for me to aspire. I often wonder with sisters numbering from 1 to 10, was it okay to be a cross-dresser? Age 9 back then?